Hi there folks, Borislav247 here with another Days Gone video, and on this video folks I am going to show you a number of ways in which to take out the Mount Bailey horde. Yes folks, this horde is 300 strong and probably the most problematic horde of them all, just due to the location of where they are. So before I actually get onto the action, let's just take a look first of all at exactly whereabouts this horde is located. Right folks, as you can see, there are three areas on the map here marked. The one that is furthest west of the Diamond Light Camp is where they will be during the day. At night, you have two other locations where they will normally go to. This one, which is their feeding ground, and the other one where they basically go to drink. I will be taking them out in all three locations, folks. Right, folks, run number one is called the safe approach, and it's called this for a very good reason. For anyone who is not very comfortable with taking out hordes and really wants to do it in a way that there's not going to be too much confrontation, this is the way I recommend. Now, I like to start with a flashbang, just to basically get them coming out of that cave, and when they do, I'm going to throw over an attractor bomb, and that is basically going to start the action off. Because after this, I am then looking to use all 6 of the grenades that I currently have in my inventory. Now once I've used all my grenades, I'm then going to turn to the napalm molotovs and start hitting them hard with those. Basically, once I get them down to around about 10 to 15 freakers, that is when I will break cover and take out the last remaining freakers with gunplay. But at the moment, I'm doing just every time, throwing a grenade. Once the grenade goes off, throwing another one in the same spot, because they congregate around where the blast took place. And wow, fantastic, getting treated to a really good gymnastics display here by this this horde. Always nice to be entertained while you're taking them out. So at this point folks, as you can see, I've run out of the grenades now, so I'm going with the napalm molotovs. Now I can see from the guide at the top there, the red bar that's telling me I've taken out a good probably 8/10 of this horde at this point. And now folks, I'm starting to get very aware that they're getting rather close to me, so I decide to use another attractor bomb. That will not only get them away from my current position, but will hopefully take out quite a number of them. And I've got a pipe bomb also at the ready here to try and take out a few. Because now I'm really thinking there's not that many of them left. And yeah, I just throw another pipe bomb in for good measure. And now I am starting to think about just taking them out with gunplay. And there we go. And there we have it folks, that is run number one taken care of, the safe approach. If you're uncomfortable with taking out large hordes, this is not a bad way of going about it folks. Okay, on to run number 2. Right folks, run number 2, the quick no shots fired run. Now if run number 1 was the safe option, trust me folks, run number 2 is the insane option, because I'm not exaggerating, I am going to hit this horde hard and fast. I'm going to start with napalm molotovs, I'm then going to move to grenades, before eventually going to proximity bombs in order to finish them off. Right, at this point folks, I'm looking to not use all of my grenades because I am looking to get to this top area for my escape route, and it is only at this point I will now start to use the proximity bombs. It's a fantastic area to use them. Basically the freakers really stack nicely here for you, and I use the tent to good effect. And by the way, speaking of tents, has to be said folks, what a fucking tent. That certainly didn't come from fucking B&Q, I can assure you. Because that fucking bad boy has just taken 4 proximity bombs and it's still in one piece. Fucking amazing. However, that is run number 2 done folks. On to run number 3, coming right up. Right folks, run number 3 is the tactical approach. And in all fairness, is very, very similar to run number 1. The only difference with this being is the starting location for basically hiding. because again it is stealth based, and truth be told, of 3 runs that I am shown, all 3 of them could have been no shots fired. But this one I particularly like because you have very little chance of actually being discovered by the Horde, and when you do actually come to the time when you want to break from the explosives and start going to gunplay, they are funneled so nicely for you, basically coming up towards you, that you can basically pick them off very, very easily. So it's really up to yourself just how you want to do this and how badly you want to go with the explosives before going to gunplay. For this particular run, I'm going to take out probably most of them, maybe break ranks around 20 freakers to go or so. But up until then, it's just going to be the same basically as run number 1. And as I did in the first run, basically every time throw a grenade, and then once they congregate around the blast area, just throw another one. And this will nicely take out at the very least half of the Horde. Now basically I'm just looking to use up all of the grenades, and after this I'm actually going to throw an attractor out there because I just want to make sure that they're well congregated for when I throw the first napalm Molotov. That way I will ensure that I will do pretty much maximum damage with this bad boy. So that was well timed. I did actually let the attractor bomb, sorry I should say, go off first there before throwing the Molotov. And as you can see, they're nicely congregated, so they're going to get it again. And why not? One more for good luck. Now, by the time these napalms have taken effect, I really should be at the stage where I can think about just starting to gun them down. And I can already see they're coming up this way, so let's do this. As you can see, folks, not too much in the way of issues at all because the location just funnels them nicely. And that's it. That is run number 3 taken care of. Coming up next, run number 4. Right then folks, run number 4 is called Divide and Conquer because simply I take out this Horde in 2 halves. Well, sort of. You will see exactly what I mean when I actually start this run off. Now, I started very similar to run number 2, where I'm basically wanting to get quite a lot of the napalm Molotovs away, but here's where it starts to change, because I want gunplay, lots of it. And this is how I do it. Throw down 2 flashbangs, and then just start to go to town on the freakers as they're coming out. And as you can see, folks, already just from those napalm Molotovs and the gunplay there, I've already taken out a very sizable amount of this Horde. And I've got my escape route ready. It's just right down here because very few of them will follow you down. I'm just looking at this point to clear up the stragglers that actually managed to get down there, and then I'm off and running. I'm now in a race at this point to get to a specific area because as you can see on the top left hand side, they are all running towards the same way that I am. And it is because they have to follow around the route of the mountainside here. So when they get to this area, I've got an attractor waiting for them just to bunch them up nicely. Then it's another napalm Molotov, and then I'm back to gunplay. Because there really will not be too many of them left here. This is just a nice clean-up job at this point. Oh, and one sneaked up behind us, but that's okay. And there's one more. And there we go, folks. That is it, job done, divide and conquer. Okay folks, coming up next, run number 5. Right then folks, run number 5 is the feeding ground, and I'm actually going to show you whereabouts this is on the map before starting this run. Now, very unusual for myself, I usually always try and take out all of the hordes from their daytime location, because it's usually advantageous with basically being either in a cave or under a tunnel. You usually do get quite an advantage. However, the 2 areas that they actually go to at night also offer some really good benefits. especially for this horde. So for this one, again, I'm going to use a stealth routine for this one to take out so much of the horde. And I can't stress this enough, folks. I do not expect to take out the entire horde when doing it this way. It's a precarious position where I currently am, and it just takes one freaker to spot you, and that's it. They will be onto you. But I don't actually have a problem with this. All I am looking to do at this point, folks, is reduce their numbers. Ideally, if I can get half the horde taken care of, that's great. Then all of a sudden I'm just looking at around 150, maybe less. And yep, already I've got well over half of them done. And yep, that's it, they're on to me. So at this point, I'm going to use the surroundings, hit them with gunfire, because at this point they are starting to spread out a bit, but as they're coming down that hill, they're set up nicely to really go to town with the MG55, which is what I currently have. Now from here, I'm going to work my way back up, as the height advantage always works very well. Also makes aiming when you're trying to take them out through gunplay a whole lot easier as well. And at this point, one of them actually gets the drop on me, but that's okay, not a problem. Again, it's just a case of hit them really hard with the gunning, move on to the next area, and as you can see, folks, I've just about got them all taken care of now. Use the vehicles there again just to funnel them a wee bit so that they don't spread out too much. And even though I've taken one or two slaps on that run, it's pretty much a job well done. And that is it, job done. The only thing I will say about this, folks, if you're trying to do it this way, be prepared that you will probably have some extra freakers to take care of, because in this particular area there is quite a lot of them about. So just something you've got to remember. But okay, on to run number 6, folks. Right then, folks, run number 6 is another no shots fired run, and this one I simply call the patient no shots fired, because it does take a little while to do, but it is probably the safest way to take out this particular horde. Maybe run number 3 would be right up alongside this, but in general this one is as good as it gets. Now the location for this is actually at where they like to go to drink. And I have a very specific location that I like to set myself up in. A lot of people might think, oh, the cliff top edge over there is probably your best bet. It's not. You want to be a bit above that. But what I'm going to do first is going to basically shove down one or two of these proximity bombs, because they do eventually get up to round about this area. And this is just overkill. I'm just looking to take out any sort of stragglers that manage to get up that high. Because from here, it's just back up to this area here, and I'm basically going to get them all over, or closer to closer to me than where they already are, and then I'm just going to rain down chaos on them. It really is that simple, folks. Start off with a couple of flashbangs just to get their attention, but not only that, it's critical in order to start off this process, because otherwise you're going to be struggling to throw the items because they're that far away. But now that I've got the horde move forward, I can start to let loose with the explosives that I have. Again, folks, this is just one of these runs that I wanted to put on in order to show anyone who is uncomfortable with taking out these hordes that this is a very safe way in which to do it. And it really is all about just personal preference of how you feel about taking out hordes, folks. I just wanted to include a bit of everything in this particular video, because in total there is 7 runs that I actually show. But this one by far is, alongside run number 3, probably the safest there is. The only downside to doing it this way, which I don't like, is that you do use up quite a lot of your inventory items. Hence why when I generally do the hordes, I like to have a lot of gunplay involved. But if there is any one horde that you really want to be using the majority of your explosives and whatnot on, it's this horde. This is the one I recommend, because the other hordes are, even the larger ones like the sawmill horde, I actually consider easier to take out than this one, and it's purely just because of the location of these freakers. But this is one area where you really can take advantage of the surroundings that you do have, because as you can see, folks, never in danger of being discovered here. Really, they barely get close to you in order to do any sort of damage. Now, I'm just about finished with this horde here, folks, but as always, because it is a no shots fired run, I have to give a huge shout out to the creator of this concept, and that is Sponicus Rex, who does these a lot better than I ever do. I am just taking care of this horde in the easiest way possible, through pure stealth here. And that is it, folks. That is run number 6 taken care of. Now, on to run number 7. Right then, folks, run number 7 is up close and personal. And for any people who aren't familiar with my videos, I'm going to take out this entire horde with an auto shotgun. Yes, I know what you're thinking, folks. This is a bad idea at the best of times, and it's an even worse idea with this fucking horde, because this one is one of the most problematic hordes you will get in trying to take them out this way. However, I am going to use the mountainside range in order to keep them from spreading out too much, and I'm not going to do too much commentary on this one, folks. I'm just going to let this run play out. So here we go, folks. Right then, folks, at this point I'm just about done. I am just basically looking for the last of the stragglers. Can't imagine there will be too many of them left. In fact, there's not. And that's it, folks. That is the Mount Bailey horde taken out with an auto shotgun. And that, folks, concludes the end of this video. As always, thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope you all enjoyed it, folks. Take care.